Now hit your movie.
There we go. Hey,
Where's Dave?
where the heck is Dave? He's gone. Well, what's going on? Oh, look at, oh, there he is. I found Dave. I found Dave.
Nice
It
going,
took me a
Dave.
little
I
while.
I just got in under the
Smooth.
wire. Yeah.
You did. You got in just under the wire.
Were
Well,
you
welcome.
snuggling again?
No. Microsoft wanted me to reboot and put in a new PIN number. So, like, I've been on it since Q2. So, yeah.
Well, I'm
That's
glad
where
you
I've
did
been.
that because now I can hack your banking.
You could, but everybody knows that I have no money. Lori
yeah.
is the one that has all the money.
Oh,
I need to talk to your wife.
don't believe.
That's who I
don't
need to
believe
talk
a word he's saying.
Kevin, like,
Yeah.
what do you got? You got a new hairstyle?
Do I ever?
Oh, that's a hat.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah. I've got this weird green screen thing happening.
Yeah, I know. It makes you look like you've got a black mullet going on there.
I know. I got a black mullet. Hey, so you know what?
Sorry, I'm late, guys.
Yeah. Hey, you're not late. We're all here. I just wanted to say hi to everybody in the side, everybody for being here. Thanks a lot.
Who is in the side, Kevin?
Oh, we got people. Oh my goodness. We have got Flip and Blue Mule, Angel Face. We have got old guy on a bike, Ron Hanna. We have got Shush Moto Travels, Spider Wayne. They're all
guy
all
on
the
a bike
gangs here.
Old guy on a bike.
Yeah.
Oh, Craig's on, eh?
Yeah. Craig,
Yeah. He said he was going to be on.
one or the other.
Yeah.
So,
I like
both.
this better.
Yeah, I do
Hi,
too.
kids.
Yeah, so we've got a pretty good going ons right now. So I just wanted to start off by saying that the Canadian guys last Friday we got together and had breakfast, and oh my goodness, what a good breakfast! That's one thing about these guys. When we have breakfast, we know how to do it right.
Well, Wayne doesn't like eating at any of the fast food joints. He wants a good old
breakfast, damn it.
A real breakfast. And boy, that's the way to do her, I'll tell you.
He wants Grandma Jarvis cooked breakfast. That's what he wants.
And that's what we got.
Yeah. Hey, has Craig told us where he is?
No, Craig, where the heck are you? We should find out where he is.
Where are you? Where are you in Canada? Or are
where are you in Canada?
Now?
You're on the road. I've got a lot of interesting questions. We're unleashed tonight. We're Canadian guys and we're unleashed. So a couple of things I just wanted to share with our viewers. See, Wayne has upgraded his cameras. And Dave and I were lucky recipients of his cast-offs. So, you know, I
used it. I
want to thank the Academy, you know, for
I had a yard sale in a restaurant in Orangeville, Ontario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to, you know, thank everyone for the last video that I'm making right now. I know I'm going to win an Academy Award with it. So, anyway,
Craig says he's in a motel.
I know. What a cheeky guy, right?
There you go.
What a cheeky monkey.
So Dave, we got to know after last week and all of the trouble that we heard about with your bike. What was wrong with your bike?
You mean after me backfiring and scaring the
Shooting
heck out
us?
of you guys following me with the with it?
Yeah.
So
Well, one
exactly. So
good thing was it kept all the deer away from us.
yeah, you kept the deer and the moose away, which was always a good thing.
yeah, and kept you guys at a fair distance behind me, right?
That's right. That's right. Try to keep that banging sound and the flames shooting out the back of your bike. So, what was actually wrong with your bike, Dave?
So it ended up being a crankshaft position sensor,
Oh my goodness.
right? So the crankshaft position sensor lets the onboard computer know things like fuel, spark, all of that. So, and when I was talking to my mechanic, he said that they could go either way. They can either continue to operate, but being very,
the
very
signs and
rough
symptoms.
riding, or it can stop working all at all. So I was so lucky. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, we thought the bike had died when we were at the motel in Perth, heading home on the Sunday, because I cranked it over for a good. How long would I crank it for, Wayne? How long was I?
Well, I was out near the street ready to leave, waiting, and then when it went, then I turned around and rode back in and right up to you, and then you were there going, "It's not going to go." And you were all sad. You had your head down, and you were all sad, and then just one more time you tried it, and it fired right up.
It fired up. And what did I do once it fired up?
You exited the parking lot immediately and left us all pointing
with
the other
haste.
Way. I was not going to slow down and have the bike stall.
And
right?
just so we realized, there was no breakfast for Jarvis Biker.
No breakfast. And you know what?
Because he wasn't stopping. He just kept riding. So
I just went. So Angel wants to know. So my bike is a 2007 Street Glide, and it's got almost 60,000 or 60,000 miles on it. Right?
Wow.
Oh, so Ron Hanna, either that or a cam bearing failure. No, Ron, we don't want to talk about a cam bearing
failure. No.
I like your first one. That you thought it was along that lines of a crankshaft position sensor, right? So, yeah. So that's the stator. This year, I've replaced the stator, now the crankshaft position sensor, and put some new rubber on it. So that's it. The bike
totally rebuilt, ready to go. Another 60,000 K.
I had a really great plan, and you know how plans are. My plan was I got all these really cool cameras from Jarvis Biker, Wayne, and I was going to put together a really cool video and show. I know I'm doing the same. I mean,
look at this. Did you miss it, Wayne?
No, I got lots here.
Yeah, he's
So yeah,
you guys just got the cream off the top. You didn't.
I'm telling you, I am so happy with them though, Wayne. I gotta tell you, I made a little video. I'm gonna show it a little farther. What have you? Oh, I know you're tempting me with that one. I got to figure out how to make these other ones work.
See, it all comes apart.
I know.
This is the what did they call it? It's an audio mod, right?
Audio pack.
Audio pack.
Or, media mod.
Media mod. That was it.
And what's cool about the media mod is it's got a speaker.
Yeah.
Or a microphone rather on the front and the back.
You can put an external speaker here. You can put a light here or a light there and speaker here.
Oh, I think it's going to be fantastic. I want to. We'll get to that part where I do that.
I just wanted it so there was some better video of my bike when we were on these rides.
Oh, that's what it was. I get it. See, totally it was all self-serving. Right. He just wants to have his bike look better.
It's all about my bike.
It's all about your bike. It's all about you, buddy. It's all about you.
Yeah. There we go.
So I was going to ask you guys, I was out today. Have you guys gone out looking at the fall colors? And you notice we are Canadian. I spelled colors the right way. So for all you American folks, this is how you spell colors properly. The Canadian way.
Couleurs.
Colors.
Yes.
I was out yesterday looking at the leaves.
I couldn't believe today some of the
nice today. It was even
images
nicer
that I
than it was
captured
yesterday.
today.
Yesterday was cool in the morning, but
yeah,
the day before today was really beautiful.
And just so because I know our viewers are kind of all over. What was the temperature like today for us? It was 20 degrees. It was 21 degrees Celsius.
Like 70, 75 degrees.
Yeah, 70, 75 degrees. It was beautiful.
Yeah. I hit 22 on the truck.
Wow. Yeah.
Out and about. Yeah.
I know.
Unbelievable. I'm just hoping it sticks for another few days because we're going away. We're going with the RV to Inver Huron, so up Lake Huron way. My brother invited me to go with him and his trailer to the park, and then Linda and I are going to take a ride back towards Sarnia and go see my buddy that's in the Milwaukee video.
Old guy on a bike. It sounds like
so he's got Thursday, Friday off from work. So hopefully the weather stays good and we can get out for one last ride with him. He wasn't able to come on the ride yesterday with the rest of the group. So he sent us a photo of him sitting at work with a sad face, just like this. We felt really bad. So I said, well, I'll be up in a couple of days. If it's nice, we'll go for a ride. So
because hopefully you'll get out. I took a ride yesterday up to Kincardine and went up to
fish and chips.
I was going to get fish and chips, but I didn't. I was kind of on a short little run. I wanted to just head up and see what it was like up there. I was trying the cameras out that day, and you'll see in my little video when we get to that point, and I'll show that to you.
Dave, you got to go to Kincardine for fish and chips.
Oh, it's so good.
One day we'll have to plan that.
What the hell is the name of that place again?
Erie Bell.
Yep.
Erie Bell.
Okay. Yep.
I was in Kincardine this summer with the Hog chapter, but we didn't go to that restaurant.
Did you go for ice cream?
No.
You're in Kevin's area and you didn't go for fish and chips or ice cream?
I wasn't leading the rides. I was happily following in the back.
Excuse me. So you have to excuse me a little bit today. I was sharing with Wayne. I thought it would be a really good idea to go and I had to go to the doctor's today. So when I was there, I got the jab. I got my flu shot and I got my COVID shot. And I'm a little under the weather. And my arm's sore. It hurts. So I'm being a little bit of a baby, but that's okay.
Sounds like Craig is in Laconia.
Yeah, I know. That's a nice place. I've been to Laconia. It's very cool.
Where is Laconia?
It's near where my friends live.
Oh, that's where they had they have a big bike meet there, don't they, every year?
The second week of June, they have Bike Week in Laconia.
Yeah, that's one of the bigger ones too, is it not?
Yeah.
No, it's actually smaller. It's one of the smaller ones, but it's it's smaller than Daytona, smaller than
anybody's smaller than them.
But it is a pretty major event.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, Laconia is full of bikes. If you get down there, we were there in either 19 or 2019. We were in Laconia for Bike Week. And then the week before it is Americade.
Old guy on a bike's comment, Kev. Put it up.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, about the leaves?
Yeah. He's been around.
Well, he's been
I
on the road
know,
like
I
106 days, I
New
think I thought.
Hampshire, Maine, Cabot Trail, and
Like, wow.
Rushmore.
Talk about and those are like now the Cabot Trail. I gotta ask him, please, old guy on a bike, tell me, could you get around the Cabot Trail after the hurricane went through, or could you not? Like, I know some of the road was damaged.
106 days on the road.
106 days. So what I want to know, old guy on a bike, is what was it like? Could you see a lot of the damage from the hurricane? I'm curious. If you want to join in, I would be happy to have you join in. I'll post the link here right now. Oh, of course, it's not there now.
Oh, there you go. Craig was on the trail the day before the hurricane.
Nothing like squeezing it in, eh?
Yeah.
So there, I put the link there. If old guy on a bike, if you'd like to join in, that would be great. I'd love to hear about that.
He might have been on the road with the because he's just got home now, I think. I think he was because
he might have gone there before the hurricane too.
Yeah, he was all through the US.
Yeah,
on his trip. I forget if it was Route 66 or
get Craig to come on as well.
Oh, Craig's in a motel.
Oh yeah.
You know what happens in motels, eh?
Oh, tell him to put some pants
the day before Fiona. So yeah, I've got a couple of things here that I wanted to kind of get to. Like the question that I had is, how do you get good sound motovlogging? Like that seems to be, I have seen so many videos, people talking about how the heck they do this. I might as well just show you my video. I'm going to put my video up that I did and show you what happened to me. And I'll just have us on the side here. I'm going to give this a try. This is my first attempt at trying some sort of moto vlogging, and I'm testing out my new cameras. I got myself a GoPro 7 and a GoPro 8. Thank you very much, Jarvis Biker. He upgraded his cameras, and I bought some of his old cameras. So we're giving that a go. We're going to see how this works. See what kind of a view I get with this setup. It's something new I'm trying. Hopefully it'll work out good. I don't know. This is with no microphone, I might add. Oh my goodness. My goal today was to try out some of these new cameras and see how they looked. I was trying out different frame rates, and I was trying out speeds, seeing what these cameras could actually do. Trying to do things just a little bit different, trying to up my game a little bit, and we'll see how this all turns out. It seemed like everybody, and I mean everybody, and their brother was out on a motorcycle today. It was so nice. It was like 70 degrees out and just perfect. And everybody was out, as you can see. If this works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's okay.
I know that corner.
Yeah. Listen to those retards roll. I really like these are wait, all those stories.
Oh, that
interrupt this video to tell you that I'm going to go out again tomorrow, and I'm going to try using the camera in a different way. I got a couple of new parts, and hopefully this is going to work even better. So let's see what happens in this next clip. And there's no clip.
Nice.
Because I'll tell you what happened. Here, we'll go back to this. So,
Hey,
old
Jim.
guy on a bike.
Hey there.
You are our guest for right now. And I want to know what it was like on the Cabot Trail. Tell me.
It was fine. The Cabot Trail itself didn't get hit hard.
Okay.
There were a few of the hiking trails that were closed for a few days, and I think there's at least one trail they're still working on.
Okay.
But the road itself, really good shape. 2 years ago, there was a lot of construction. This year, I had some. Okay, I did it twice this year. So I did it in July, and there was some construction in the middle. And then I did it on my way back. So that was 13th of October, somewhere around there. And no construction happening. And the road was very, very good.
Okay.
And the colors were, lots and lots of golds and oranges, very little in the way of red, but a lot of birch there. So,
yeah. Oh, unbelievable. The amount of red that I was seeing yesterday when I was out. I got some video of that, but I didn't put it in this clip. I was trying to show, what those cameras could do. What a difference. And Mr. McStash here, all those cameras, all those GoPros, you need a remote. I actually have the remote.
He got that too.
Yeah. Did you use it, Kev? Did you use
I
the remote?
did. And wow, does it work good? You turn that thing on and it goes. So you have been everywhere, Mr. All
over
old guy on a bike.
I did get around. I put 28,000 kilometers on the bike.
that's
Did you-
nothing.
Did you do Route
That's in a
66?
month. That's in 3 months.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Jim, did you do the Route 66?
No. That is sometime in the future. I will
Okay.
pick up a few pieces of that maybe next year. But I did a lot of stuff in Newfoundland, led a group around Newfoundland. I was in Nova Scotia, and then went to a reunion in Southern Ontario. So a quick run through Ontario up to the
Huntsville, did you go?
well, it wasn't in Huntsville this year. It was in Renfrew.
Oh, Renfrew, okay.
So did Calabogie. And then I had people I was supposed to meet down in North Carolina at the end of September. So in the 3 weeks in between, I thought, well, might as well go down to Mississippi. So I went down
Might as well.
to Mississippi. I was in Missouri, Arkansas. I passed through Memphis, did a wave by at Graceland.
Yeah.
Went to Barber Motorcycle Museum and the Superbike race.
What was that like?
It's awesome. It's like just too much friggin' eye candy. Just nothing but eye candy.
I have wanted to go to that one. It is supposed to be amazing.
It is.
And how long did it take you to get through that?
I didn't. I was there for about 2 hours on practice day, and I would like to go back and spend another 3 or 4 hours. So what I did was I found every single motorcycle that I've ever owned, and a few that I've covered it. But every single motorcycle that I owned, I found either on display or down in the repair area where they're restoring stuff, which usually isn't open. But on the Superbike race weekend, they opened the restoration area as well. So I saw one bike that they were restoring that was my second motorcycle.
And What was that, Jim?
I'm trying to remember what the designation of it was, but it was basically the Dream's little brother. It was a 170 or 175 cc. It looked like a street touring bike. Had flared fenders on it and a whole bunch of stuff. But it was we're talking a 1976 model or something, or not? Sorry, 1967 model. But no, a lot of amazing motorcycles there. And then of course the races were fabulous. And when I came back up, I came up through and did the Natchez Trace.
How much of it did you get?
I did about 2/3 of it.
Yeah.
And then I went to
Which end though? Did you go the Mississippi end or the Nashville?
The northern end. The northern end. The more northern end.
Okay.
So when you do a trip like that, Jim, what do you do for accommodation? Do you camp? Do you motel?
I slept in my tent trailer 81 nights this summer.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of nights.
I have got 10 terabytes of video to edit.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I do not envy you.
So, but I'll be reliving it all winter long. So I just started to I got my first one up yesterday, really. See, I've got remotes as well, but I don't use them. I've got at least one camera running all the time, and usually there's two running all the time, and sometimes a third. By the time I turn on a remote, I've passed what I want to see. So I just record everything.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Wheels Through Time is a different type of setup, a different type of feel. I was there a couple of years ago. Didn't make it on this trip, but it was certainly it's a great place to go as well. I did the Dragon one more time just so I get a photo op with the pulling the trailer behind me. That was the only reason I did it. It's like, I'm sure there's a few people who were cursing who were behind me, ruined their run. But heck, I wanted to make sure I got through it okay. Still did it at a good pace. So yeah, and then did the most of the Blue Ridge and just I hit so many good roads. I was over in Kentucky. Some of the trip was planned, and some of it sort of just fell into place as I was riding. No.
Yeah. So you're not on the road now. You're home.
I'm sort of home.
Sort of home.
Sort of. I've got a roof for the winter. I am technically homeless. The house is sold. What I'm doing is renting one of the houses from the theater I worked for last summer. So they have some housing that they use during the summer. They've got to heat it and light it during the winter. So I made a deal to rent one of their houses over the winter. So I'm just sitting here and editing that 10 terabytes of video. Yeah. That's my job this winter.
That Natchez Trace is I want to go back again sometime during this cold winter that we're gonna have. We only did like from Memphis out the Mississippi way, so the same way you went, but maybe a third of it we've seen.
I went a little further down than Memphis. I went down to Clarksdale, Mississippi, which is the ground zero of the blues, and did a photo op in front of Morgan Freeman's Ground Zero Blues Club.
Oh, how cool is that?
It was a Monday and noontime, so of course it wasn't open. It runs, I think, Wednesday through Saturday or something.
Did you go to the Hollywood?
No. I basically just did a drive-through and a quick photo op, and I then started headed.
It's a beautiful road. The parts that we saw were just absolutely awesome.
I kept on running into I took the GPS off of highways. Now I last winter did a detailed set of routes on my route. I mean, I had every day planned out, and I left that on the computer in my storage. So on the road, it's okay. On the road, and of course I was changing stuff anyway. I did have a spreadsheet where I had a list of where I was planning on going and stuff like that. But it all got broken up, and I started doing a whole bunch of different things, and some of the things were not planned at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like going down to Barber was not planned. I was in Arkansas for a International Brotherhood of Motorcycle Campers cook-off. So I just had to show up for the weekend with a spoon, and it was a Dutch oven cook-off. So
what did you cook?
I cooked nothing.
Oh, come on!
I ate like 10 types of chili and another 10 kinds of cobbler and other types of Dutch oven cooking.
So you were so Jim, you were an unofficial tasting judge.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But after that, it was like I was wondering, okay, what am I going to do now? And I was sort of looking at the map and going, well, okay. I was thinking about doing a drive-by of Graceland anyway. I'm getting close to Birmingham. It's like, why not go to Birmingham? And then I discovered that the Road America Superbike races were on. The last races of the season were on that weekend. So I went, okay. So for about $180 Canadian, I got into the races, had 3 nights camping on the racetrack grounds, and had the opportunity to go to the museum. So had a great time. But that was not planned. That was not part of my original plans at all. So it was just, a bit of winging it. And of course, I was supposed to spend 3 days in North Carolina running the roads with some guys who I've known from the ST Owners Forum for a long time. And of course, we've got Hurricane Ian coming up. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at the weather and going, I'm not going to ride in 3 days of rain.
No.
So I headed west into Kentucky and went to Mammoth Cave. So the first time, I was absolutely blown away by going to the caves. But yeah, so yeah, it was a great time, and I'm looking forward to reliving the whole darn thing by doing all that editing.
Yeah. The editing, that is always the biggest part of all of this stuff, right? So one of the questions that I had, and I'm going to put it to you, Jim. What would you tell a new YouTuber?
A new YouTuber?
YouTuber. I meant tuber.
Double B.
And I said tuber.
There's that missing B that we were looking for.
We gotta have the extra B. It's. I don't know what happened to it with Chubby Biker.
He's
only got 1 B.
He got 1 B, and you wanted 2 Bs.
And he wanted to be 2 Bs. So what would you tell a new YouTuber?
Actually, okay. I was at the Horizons Unlimited event here in Newfoundland, and I actually presented on video cameras and then another presentation on editing. Now, the biggest thing I would tell any of them is don't expect to become big or make money right away. Like, don't even expect to make money at all.
Amen.
But you've got to just keep plugging away at it, and there are ways of pushing your channel and stuff like that. But it's a slow process. It's a slow, try to put out some good product. Make sure your audio works well. Don't get too self-indulgent. I do that sometimes. My videos are usually, at least 15 minutes, 20 minutes long. But just keep working at it. It takes a long time to build up much momentum. And I must admit, COVID's really slowed me down because I wasn't doing as much motorcycle content as I was doing in the first 2 years I was really pushing the channel. So I'm now with the new stuff. I now feel confident enough that I'll start trying to, I'll do a little bit of hustling and see if I can't get more eyeballs on video.
So what how big is your channel now, Jim?
3,400 subscribers now.
Oh, good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
I like watching some of your I think I started watching, you were the first kind of Canadian vlogger that I watched that had really great content.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to start.
No, it's very hard, and it's hard to get that momentum going. A lot of it is, of course, you got to watch a lot of other video channels to see what they're doing, and don't be afraid of certainly commenting on other people's videos, because then other people see your name when they go to comment and might check you out. So it's constantly a thing like that, and it's trying to discover places, the algorithms and how to make YouTube see you is tough. I've always tried to make, what I call family-friendly content. The closest thing I've come to clickbait is me camping in a kilt. It didn't work. The biggest thing is trying to be consistent and keep putting stuff out. Just keep doing it. Get better at doing it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. That's for sure. Is being consistent really does help.
So the only way you're going to make money on YouTube is when you sell your old cameras to your fellow YouTubers.
I should be doing a sale soon. Right.
YouTube has cost me more than I have made.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes. And I'm not even buying GoPro. It's like, no. But it can get to be a bit of an addiction, trying to figure out, what camera you're going to use next and what you're going to do. I've got about 6 cameras that are sort of in semi-retirement now, and I've got 3 that I use a lot.
What about you, Wayne? What advice would you give a new YouTuber? A new YouTuber?
Don't expect anything.
Don't expect anything. I think that is really great advice.
It's all relative to how much time you can put into it, your talent. I mean, your voice. If you've got a good radio voice, your channel's going to do a lot better than somebody that doesn't.
Yeah, I think if you've got big boobs,
if you look at like Memphis Mike, he's got a DJ voice for sure, and it shows in his videos. They're very entertaining, and it's easy to listen to, and it's unless you can get Morgan Freeman to do all your audio.
Yeah, that would help. How about you, Dave? What would you tell a new YouTuber?
Well, I think the first thing is, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
If it's a hobby, then you don't need a lot of equipment. Right. Although you seem to collect them after a while, right? But for me, I'm in YouTube now for the fun of it. It gives me. I'm a retiree, and this helps me pass the time away and gives me a link to something I really enjoy, and which is meeting people and love riding my bike. So, just stick a camera on it, and it forces, at least for me, it forces me to check out new roads. Go and meet up with some new people. The friendship that I have with a lot of the people in the side chat, even,
Yeah.
you know, looking forward to meeting them. And Jim, you know, you've been on our show before, and we had a great time with you then. But yeah, you know, if you're a YouTuber, if you're in it for a business, that's one thing. You know, but for me,
McStashes.
oh, get
McStash. Okay.
broke. Well, I don't know. I think he's still got a truckload of mustache wax that he's having a hard time, having a hard time getting rid of, right?
I have spent more money on t-shirts and such. Like I got a whole bunch of t-shirts, the Ride Motorcycles Eat Ice Cream shirts, and I made $0.
That's because you gave them all away.
I know. Well, because I have friends and I give it to my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim, do you have t-shirts for your channel?
I haven't done any merchandising at all at this point. I've got to get a sticker design to be the first thing I'll do probably this winter. But I haven't even tried doing any merchandising.
Yeah.
You know, I'll give you a hint on how you can do it. Right? Give your logo. Just a second here. Give your logo to a family member and say, "Here, buy me some sweatshirt. Buy me some swag for my channel." So Lori and I both got sweatshirts 2 years ago with my logo on it.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I think you need probably at least 10,000 subscribers before you're going to really make any money off merchandise.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. You know, for sure. On the same vein, okay, what advice would you give a new rider? I think my advice that I would give a new rider is ride, practice, and then ride some more. Because if you don't ride, you won't get better. You can own a motorcycle. Like I belong to the Canadian Motorcycle Cruisers, and I ride with Hey Richard. And what we've often said is that there are an awful lot of owners and not so many riders. So I would say get out and ride. What would you say, Jim?
Well, I think exactly the same thing. Ride, make sure you got gear, and don't have a bike that's faster than you can get used to.
Yeah. Good advice.
That's one of the biggest problems is people nowadays aren't starting off on something small. They've got the bank account that they can go out and buy, you know, $30,000 motorcycle that goes way too fast. Yeah, it's not like the good old days where we started off with, you know, 125s and 300s.
Well, back then, a lot of those bikes were like, that's all you could get, right?
Yep.
There weren't a lot of the really big ones.
What about you, Wayne? What would you tell a new rider?
Take your hand off the front brake and don't touch it until you've ridden for at least 3 years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well,
I'm the opposite. It's like I use my front brake a heck of a lot more than I use my rear brake.
I do too, but when you're new and you don't know when to hit it and when not to, that's the problem. I watched a lady yesterday. She had a little single cylinder Honda and she was riding with her husband and totally front brake. That's all she was. And like a guy turned and looked across the street as she was driving down it and she hit the brakes so hard. I don't know what she thought, if she was like just so timid that she thought that the guy was going to step out. He wasn't going, like he wasn't at a crosswalk or anything. He just stopped and turned and she jammed on the brakes. She pretty near wiped the bike out. Like, And then she went about 2 more feet and she hit it again. And it was like, lady, get your hand off that lever and don't touch it. Like, it's your worst enemy right now. Just
I learned how to
I was freaking out.
squeeze.
But that goes with the getting used to it. Like, obviously it was like her first time out. I hope it was.
Yeah.
Because if
Now,
it
Jim-
wasn't her first time out, it's going to be bad.
Yeah. Jim, is your bike set up that when you're on the front brake, it also engages the back brake?
Yes, it's got linked braking.
Okay. Which makes it a big difference than just 100% front brake.
Yeah.
But this is the first bike I've had with that. I've had a series of 750s, with certainly without that. But
This wasn't that she was just hitting the brake. She was like turning the wheel as she was pulling on the lever and turning this, like it was a mess.
Yeah.
I think Craig's comment is probably the best comment I've seen on here for a while is take the rider training course before riding on the street. And I think that's probably really good advice. I have met people that say, "Oh, I don't need to take the course. I've been riding for years. I've been riding on dirt bikes and all this." And you know what? Take the damn course. I used to teach the damn course.
Put Angel's last comment up there, because she's talking about the bike modes. Do we think that makes a difference? And they really don't change it that much. The better thing is like full traction control and stuff like that, as far as making it so that you don't wipe the bike out. I think that's the better of the. I don't think the modes really help that much, except for one of those instances where you're just going too damn fast and you can't stop for whatever comes in front of you. That's where the speed and all the rest of it gets factored in and makes it bad for a new rider. So
front brakes are easy to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm having a hard time catching up the
chat
on the side shaft and staying in the thing. I'm not big on a lot of the new electronic things. I'm really not. I want a fairly bare bike. It just means more things that can go wrong. That's one of the problems, and it's one of the reasons why I've stuck with my old ST1300. It's pretty basic in what I can do with it, and there's no changing anything on the fly. So I am used to it, and I've got a setup for me, and 99% of the time I don't feel like I need to be in any sort of automatic mode or anything like that. It does have ABS, and I've probably felt the ABS about 2 or 3 times where it worked right. And then, of course, I've also been on some dirt roads going downhill with the trailer behind me where the ABS did not help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that I always find, and you've been out on a while on a lot of rides lately, Jim. What's the dumbest thing people say to you when you're all dressed up and you walk into a store or something? They'll say something dumb to me like, "So are you riding your bike today?" I'm dressed leather from top to bottom, and I'm got a helmet in my hand. What do you think?
Well, along those lines, I did have, and I rode with a couple of people who were certainly not riding with much gear, and I was riding, full gear all the time, and I hit a lot of 34, 36 degree weather down in Mississippi and Alabama, and it was hot, but when someone ask me, well, why are you riding with all that gear when they're in a t-shirt? And I always say, well, sweat dries quicker than blood. The I think from riders, that has always been, the dumbest thing that a rider has said. Now, I will admit I've had some very strange reactions when I was told people that I am from Newfoundland, Canada. Where's that? I found that the lack of knowledge of geography, especially in the southern states, was quite amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised one time. I met some people from Michigan, and how little they could tell me about Canada just blew my mind. They had never been over the border, and they didn't even know what province was on the other side. That was the thing that blew my mind. They didn't know that it was Ontario, and they were in Michigan. And I thought, how can you not know that?
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. Nobody in our group here would be that way, but dumb things people have said to you, Wayne, when you're all dressed up to go.
Do you live where the ice road truckers are?
How about you, Dave?
I'll be honest. I haven't had too many conversations along that line with people. Maybe I'm just unapproachable for people. Maybe I'm
so
certainly not.
intimidating.
What's that, Wayne?
You're so intimidating.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Oh, Craig Hainsworth.
Hi, Craig.
Yeah. No, I'll have to pass on this. I haven't had any real stupid comments.
All right. So where would you?
I like Craig's.
You're in Russia.
What's this?
Craig says when you come across at Niagara Falls, and then you enter into Russia.
Yeah.
Russia. I don't think so. What's this?
Where would you go riding if money was no object?
Where would you go riding if money was no object?
Who are you asking?
I'm
Craig?
asking Wayne.
Okay, the first thing I'd do is I'd go buy an H2 Kawasaki, and I would go and ride the whole Autobahn.
Okay.
Probably about 50 times.
Very fast.
Wow.
How about you, Dave? Where would you go if money was no object?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
I would start tomorrow and not stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I might have to wait for Lori to retire.
Nah. Money's no object. See? So
Yeah.
If money was no object, where would you go riding? You know what? I would love to try riding in Iceland.
Isle of Man.
Well, you better watch Itchy Boots,
I
the
did.
segment on Iceland, because it didn't take her that long to do it.
No, it wouldn't take that long. Isle of Man. Now that sounds really interesting, Ron. I think that would be a good one. Some of these places that are a little unusual. You know what I have a fear of more than anything when it comes to riding in strange places? I don't want to ride anywhere where I have to ride on the wrong side of the road. Like driving on the left. That throws me. If I could drive on the right, I'd be okay. But like driving on the left, that kind of throws me.
I think you'd get used to it really quick.
I don't know.
It'd be easier on a bike than it would a car.
Yeah.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
I think you're probably right. I don't know. It was just sort of a strange question I thought I'd throw in there.
Mm-hmm.
What would our audience like to have us discuss? I thought about that, and I wondered if there was something that the audience would like us to discuss.
Why don't you ask Jim?
I'm asking Jim, what would you want us to discuss?
I think travel is the biggest thing. It's uh, like we're looking at, certainly a lot of different types of travel and discussion on travel. I was just replying to someone on Facebook tonight who was wondering what the best bike would be for touring. And I said, we better define touring, because I tour with a big bike and a camper. Other people tour, with a toy hauler, or they're hauling their bike behind a vehicle. Other people are hammock people. So it's everyone's got a different way of traveling. You end up with some people who think that their way is the only way, and we don't like those. Those people are just a pain in the butt. But there's so many different ways to camp and to travel and approach going anywhere. So that's a whole series of discussions, and it's both in Canada and the U.S. where and what you want to do. One of the things I wanted to try more is trying more dispersed camping down in the States. Now it's a little restrictive with a big bike hauling the trailer, but I know I can do it. It's just a matter of picking the right spots, but that's a process I've got to go through.
All right. This one. How much space does your wife need on a bike trip?
All of it.
I know. Any other comments? How about you, Wayne?
It depends, because there's certain things that she's going to bring that have to go in certain places on the bike, so you can run out of those certain spaces. So like makeup, anything like that has to be in the top box, because it can't be near heat.
Okay.
Because you'll melt like the really expensive lipstick and stuff like that. So there's all kinds of things, but Linda has gotten a lot better since we got the Harley, because the Harley does hold more than the Goldwing ever did.
Yeah, the saddlebags are better, aren't they?
The saddlebags there is more room in them. They're easier to load full. The Goldwing ones being the clamshell type,
that's what I've been told.
Get as much into them.
Yeah, guys that have gone from Hondas to Harleys, the comment that I've heard is you can get more stuff in a Harley than you can in a Honda. A Honda is awfully nice bike to tour on, but Harleys are better for piling your junk in.
Yeah, it's amazing how much more they do hold. Just the bike itself without anything else, and then like both of them had the top rack on the trunk, so you're able to put a little bit on there as well. So, but it seemed like the Goldwing, having that bag up on the top rack, was affected by the wind more than the Harley was. For some reason, the Goldwing didn't like a wind from the angle on the back coming across on an angle. It seemed to deflect the bike. You could feel the tire working on the road.
Yeah.
So
how would you find the ST for loading up, Jim?
Well, it's not bad. I've got a 52-liter Givi trunk on it, so I can haul a lot. But mind you, the Givi trunk usually has got my laptop and my drone and stuff like that. I've got all my clothes in one side, basically, but I'm carrying a bit too much. But it's a different ball game now that I've got the tent trailer, because I've got a certain amount of spillover, and I don't have to worry about any cooking gear and stuff. That's all in the tent trailer. Now, when the X would have taken up on the ST, the trunk, one saddlebag, and probably partially one other saddlebag. it also meant that there was absolutely no way that we could tent. It would have to be bed and breakfasts or motels the whole way. So the trip became very expensive, and I had like 2 pairs of socks and 2 pairs of underwear.
Mm.
One of the last passengers I've had on the bike, I basically told her, whatever you can fit in a shoebox is what you can take for the next 2 weeks, and she did it.
Mhm.
But it just means you're doing, and we camped. So there was laundry in camp every third or fourth day, just so there'd be clean laundry for the next 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
It's a different animal when you're camping, isn't it? Like you've got to take a different things with you, and it's a lot harder to camp and bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it very difficult when I just had the ST and even riding solo, because between wanting a big enough tent and wanting to take some cooking stuff and things like that, it's like my passenger seat was absolutely full to the gills, and I was packed way too high, and I felt very uncomfortable on the bike then. Now with the tent trailer, I don't feel uncomfortable at all, and it's a much easier ride for me, and I can put a passenger on, and it's just fine.
Mhm.
But again, it's a whole different type of travel and camping than a lot of people want to do.
Yeah.
Gotta go yell at the dog.
Yeah. I saw one of your videos there where you were sitting enjoying, I think it was cigar and a brandy, was it?
Would not have been a cigar, but it would have been
Oh,
a
okay.
brandy. It would have been probably bourbon and maybe a maple marshmallow, toasted marshmallow.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a whole different thing. So I can get set up in what I call office mode or eating restaurant mode, and I'm out of the way, out of the rain, out of the cold, and I've got a perfectly good place to just sit there and have a drink and eat my supper, work on the laptop,
Mhm.
or like all of us, it's like spending some time in front of the fire. That's one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
So I've got some speed round questions.
Okay.
So here we go. So we have to start off with an ice cream question. I'm sorry, guys. It's just what it is. Cone or cup? I'm always a cone guy, and I like a waffle cone. Dave,
Same.
Wayne,
Regular cone.
Jim.
Waffle cone. I had the most fabulous gingerbread molasses homemade ice cream on Fogo Island this summer.
Oh, I'll have to go and try that. That sounds good. Now this one will be a good one for Jim because I think I know the answer. How many Harley Davidson shirts do you have and why? So Jim, how many?
0.
0. Okay, good answer.
And there's no why. It's just
I know.
0.
Wayne, I have to ask you, how many Harley Davidson shirts do you have and why?
I think there's about 8 so far.
8.
Why?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. They were there.
They were there. Dave, how many?
Probably a few dozen.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They're a landmark of where you've been, right? They're
yeah.
a history of everything that you've seen.
I've got shirts from everywhere I've been, and we're going out to Vancouver this Christmas, and I know, well, I've already told the boss that we are going to the Harley Davidson dealership in Vancouver because I need a new shirt.
Marketing.
Craig wants to know how much they are.
How much are what?
Harley shirts.
Way too much.
Yeah.
Never very much.
Well, I didn't have any until I got a Harley.
They're always free.
I always thought it was like you didn't, if you were a fake, if you.
Yeah. And there's a difference between shirts and t-shirts.
Yes.
I have a drawer full of Harley T-shirts that I've got from all of the places that I've visited. So I have more T-shirts than I have shirts.
I have to step out just for one quick second, but I will leave this question. What video are you most proud of? And I will start with Wayne, and I'll be right back.
Like, it just disappears, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Um,
Hey, let's just be quiet. When he comes back, we'll say we answered them all.
the video I'm most proud of is nothing to do with the videography or anything. It's the content of the video. And it was the one about our little girl down in Hagersville that got run over by the car and maimed for life. And
Oof.
it's basically me ranting in an angry way about somebody not calling it quits driving a car when they should have. And it's I maybe it's not my best, but I think it's the most important one.
Mm-hmm.
But
sometimes that's a good thing too. Dave, what would be your video that you're most proud of? Video you put out?
I'll just say the grouping of the ones with Lori in them, where Lori is participating in being part of the video.
Yeah, I think some of the videos that I'm most proud of are not necessarily my most watched. The ones where I talk about what it is riding to me, like what I feel when I'm riding a motorcycle. Those are the videos that I like the best. They're the ones that mean the most to me. There's one I did going up to Wyerton in the morning, and I'm really like that video for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I like that one. So, and what about you, Jim? What's your favorite video? One you're most proud of?
Probably one I'll put out in about 3 or 4 months. No, the October series I did 2 years ago about going down to Harbor Breton. Camping. I think that series is the one I sort of like the best of what I've done so far. Always trying to do better.
Yeah. So my follow-up question, what's the most important, what is most important to you when you're posting on YouTube? For me, I like to tell a story and I like to make it fun. I like when my videos are a little bit fun, or like the one that I really like, I say something that resonates with other people. And I think that that's what you were alluding to too, Wayne, with the one that you talked about. You know, it's important when you're posting on YouTube. Like what would you say, Dave? What's most important when you're posting on YouTube for you?
I'd say feedback for me.
Okay.
I'm always interested in people's comments and, you know, able to strike up conversations. So if I post something that somebody finds interesting and strikes up a conversation with me, I think that you know, or if I've done something where somebody has learned something, or you know, something new for them. So you know, and they tell me, then that's
actually just to add on to what you're just saying. I have one video where what I did is I changed the heat sensor on the one on my bike because I was having a lot of trouble with it. That video, although not my most watched, has generated some of the best comments. I've had people send me messages in Facebook and such and said, "Hey man, you know what? Thank you so much for posting that video. You really helped me out. I did what you said and it fixed my bike." And I think those are the ones that that means a lot to me when I've helped somebody, you know. by posting. And Wayne, I think you've already sort of answered that, but
well, you kind of know which ones are the most important because they're the ones that you do get the most feedback from. Like,
yeah,
a lot of the same thing with my old Goldwing ones. How to change the water pump is my number one video for watch time. Still today, it's still my number one.
yeah,
And I think why I bought a Harley is like my fifth best of all of them. So, and most of the other ones are all how-to ones or work
Yeah.
that I've done on the bike on the Goldwing. So, yeah, the feedback actually lets you know which ones are your best.
Yeah, and I find with mine it's the same thing. A lot of the modifications to the trailer and little hacks and stuff. A lot of feedback on that,
Mhm.
and some of the feedback has actually helped me improve what I'd already done. But those are the ones, and also it's surprising how many people just find it encouraging to see that I'm willing to go out and stay in a tent trailer for 80 days at a time.
Mhm.
that's crazy, by the way. Just so you know, like that's nuts.
It actually was really good. I lost
An
15
adventure.
pounds over the
It's an
time.
adventure. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I'd
It
do
was an
it.
adventure. Yeah.
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 Now I certainly stayed
That's
with
what I
friends
like
and
about it.
relatives and some subscribers. Got stuck in hotels a few times when I was either really cold or a couple of days of rain in a row, and I just needed to dry out.
How do
But
you heat yourself? Like, do you have a source of heat if it is cold?
I've got a little buddy propane heater, so I can put that in what I call my adder room, which is not the actual tent trailer itself, but the part that goes on the front of it. And I can put it in there, heat that up, open up the door to the tent trailer, and I can get myself quite warm. Uh, but I'll use that to take chill off. I've also got a 12-volt electric blanket. And with the solar system and the batteries I've got, I can use that about 3 times over the course of a night, to warm up the bed to start, to take the chill off in the middle of the night, and then in the morning. So heat has not been a problem. Heat in a cold situation has been a problem. And I've camped down to just barely above freezing. Uh, Not an issue. Got the right sleeping bags and stuff. Wearing enough, clothes and things. Hot weather, I found, is a bit more of an issue for me. I did find a couple of times in Mississippi and Alabama that all I had on top of me was basically a ripstock sleeping bag liner. That was it. That was well warm enough. Yeah, it's surprising how quickly you can get used to living in a very small space,
Mhm.
You
cooking
don't need that
outside every
much.
day. Huh? No,
So
you don't.
this is
You really don't.
this question here. I mostly put this on because I know Wayne has got a lot of this.
That comes with the way that I videotape and the same as Jim. If the camera's on all the time, you're bound
Yeah.
to get some of this stuff on video. So
So I'll start with Jim because he's kind of our guest tonight.
Impromptu.
I caught this on tape. So what is something that you have caught on tape that you were not planning on catching?
Woo. I certainly got a few moose and caribou pretty close.
Yeah.
I've almost hit a turkey in Calabugie I haven't gone back and looked at that tape yet, but I came real close to that turkey. People doing stupid things. People being absolute idiots on the highway, passing very poorly, or holding up traffic. So I've got a few of those things I've found. I've also caught myself on tape going through Birmingham. I can't wait to go back and look at that. Going through Birmingham, I'm trying to pay attention to my GPS. Now, Birmingham is just a maze of roads, and they're all up in the air. And of course, I'm trying to look at the GPS, and there's twice I took a turn too early, just because the turns were running on top of one another, and I just looked down and went, okay, I took the turn, wrong turn. GPS turns me around and comes back. So my cursing and swearing and my trying to figure out how to get out of Birmingham on tape should be pretty epic. But yeah, as long as you got a camera rolling, it's surprising. You know, you're gonna be catching something all the time. Yeah.
What about you, Wayne? What have you caught on tape?
Birds almost hitting the windshield. Birds hitting the windshield. Deer.
Yeah.
About 1 million geese. And those Jurassic Park things that were flying that one day.
Oh man, oh man.
They were. I still today don't know what they were. So.
Yeah, I've been traveling with a group of others, and then stuff has fallen off of somebody else's bike, and I've got that on camera. That kind of thing.
You want to see a really good one?
Yeah.
Watch Chris Caliente's video from about a week ago.
Okay.
He was running down the interstate on his new Goldwing.
Yeah.
A tanker truck passed him on the left. As it goes by, you see the back, and it was one of those trucks with like the single tires on it, the big wide ones. One of those disintegrating itself on the rim, the last axle on the truck. And he went by Chris, it flipped off the rim and it come up and over the truck.
God.
Landed in his lane, or landed in the lane beside him, and slid across. And then by then he'd gone right to the berm of the road, and it went right to the edge of the grass, and he had to come back the other way to get around it. It just like a second late or a second sooner at flying off, it would have hit him for sure.
No kidding, eh?
So
wow.
He said he just turned the cameras on. They'd just been on for like a matter of seconds when it happened. So
Wow.
And how about you, Dave? What have you caught on tape?
Well,
it's what he has.
Digital. I'm sorry, I said tape. We're all too old.
So I do have a story.
Okay.
So the first one is I caught on tape my GoPro Session 5 having the mount break and the camera videotaping itself skipping down the road until it came to a stop. And then it actually turned, and I caught the view of me pulling off to the side and running back to pick it up.
That's good.
That's the first one. The second one is what I didn't catch, and Wayne alluded to it, when I got off the ferry in Port-aux-Basques and Newfoundland, riding up the Corner Brook, I was stopped when a cow and a calf walked across the highway, and I'm sitting there on my bike, cameras on. And it wasn't until I got to Corner Brook that I realized that I had left the lens cap on.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Jim, what were you going to say?
I almost forgot. The best thing I caught on tape was me losing my trailer. The trailer was coming off the back, and I had four cameras running. So I got it from every conceivable angle. So that's the best and worst thing I've captured on video.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I remember watching that. That was pretty good. Hey, Jim, a quick question. So you were on the road for 106 days. You were videotaping probably a number of those days. How much video do you have stored on your computer from that trip?
He said,
I've got 3 2 terabyte external drives and 2 5 terabyte external drives. Now, one of the 5 bytes I was using to back up some of the stuff, but I've got between 500 and 600 hours of video, I think.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Isn't
yeah,
that
I've got 8 terabyte from April till now.
Yeah.
wow.
But I expect that 99% of that's going to end up on the digital cutting floor.
Mhm.
And I'll clear those, I will keep certain things for sort of archival purposes, but then I'll clean those external drives off and get them ready for next year. And I think I'll find a system that I will not dump down every single bit of video from every camera.
It's
On
hard
the
to
next
know
long
what to
trip.
keep and what to ditch, isn't it?
It is.
I know, you know, the
When
worst.
you're running like we are, where we like I've been running most of the year with 3 cameras running
Mhm.
full all day long.
And the worst of that is, you know, you've got footage, like you think, oh, I've got great footage of that, I want to use it, and then trying to find it.
The only thing that I've missed that I couldn't find yet, and I still have the video, is on the way from Purple on 3 and Tommy G's place to Tazewell. We were running on the interstate, and Harley Girl was behind me, and an SUV went by, and they had one of those saucer boards like for water skiing.
Oh yeah.
One of those on the top of an SUV, and it flew off. And I watched. I was just like, the whole time I was going, "Don't hit her! Don't hit her! Don't hit her!" It just through the air. It went flipping back towards her, and I thought, I don't even think she saw it, but it was close.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And I'm still trying to find. I know the camera was running, and I know it was on because I remember looking back in the mirror and making sure the light was lit on it, and it was. So
Wow.
it's on there. It's just that it's like a second out of 11 hours of tape.
Yeah, and that's always the big problem. Like today, I was trying to edit. No, and you were talking about this too, Jim. I'm not used to these new cameras, and there's a lot more information, so it's clogging up my computer. and trying to edit, you know, you have all of this footage, and you can't. I can't manipulate it. I'm going to have to figure out a better way to manage.
I don't think that's the new camera. I think it's just coincidental. I think you've got
a lot of stuff.
the hard drive on your computer's full. It just, you need external drives to put all that crap on.
Yeah, I may need some help with that, Wayne.
What kind of resolution are you shooting at?
Best Buy.
Well, yeah, I'm.
Well, now he's tried 4K and 2K.
I tried 2K and
with
4K.
the new camera, but then it just clogged up. So it's not that,
yeah,
you know, it did it. It's that it was almost ready to do it anyway. So
yeah,
you've got to upgrade your computer like crazy. I'm not shooting any higher than 1080.
Yeah, that's what I usually shoot.
6 frames a second. It's like I just don't want to invest the money into the type of computer I'd need to crunch the amount of stuff I've got if I went to a higher resolution. Yeah. And since I'm just posting to YouTube, I don't find a need for it. Now, if I was shooting something for a commercial, I'd shoot in 4K.
Yeah.
But
yeah, for sure. Yeah, the hard drives are the way to go. That's for sure. Well, you know what, guys?
And Kev, if you're looking for a hard drive, I'm sure Wayne has a couple he'd like to sell.
Oh man, you know what? thank you very much, guys, for joining me today with the Canadian guys, and thanks everybody in the side chat today. We've had a really good conversation going. I don't want this to go on for too long. Now, Dave, you were saying that you wouldn't mind if I was to host again next week.
Yeah, go ahead, Kev. Yep.
All right, I will host again
Yeah,
next
because
week.
I'm going to be out Wednesday to Sunday night. I'm going to be away at the RV, so
Okay.
I'm not going to be able to do anything.
All right. Are you going to be able to be on Monday? You'll be here?
Oh, I'll be here, yeah.
Okay. So we'll see you all back here next Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel. And I'm not really sure what we're going to be talking about, but I'm sure that it'll be interesting. That's for sure. So we will see you guys all back next week. And thank you so much for everybody for all of your input in the side chat. It's been an awful lot of fun reading. I always have a hard time trying to manage everything here, but yeah, I really enjoy doing this, and we'll see you guys all next week. And thank you, everyone. And we're out of here.
All right. Thanks, Kev. Thanks, Jim. Thanks for
All right,
joining us.
thanks.
Bye.
Yeah.